All right, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I am working on my driveway. I have a lot of these cracks like this in my driveway, and they are not good for your driveway because eventually they will erode, deteriorate underneath, and they will destroy your driveway. I have an asphalt driveway, as you can see here. It is not concrete, but even if you have concrete, then it will also make sections that sink or other sections that kind of lift and so on and so forth. So it's best to always try and keep those cracks sealed up. After this past winter, we had tons of rain. I got quite a few of these large cracks in my driveway. So we're gonna fix that with some stuff I bought the other day when I was testing out one of these Jeeps, kind of doing a partial rental car review on one of these Jeeps that I got, these 4xEs, and we went there and picked up some of this stuff here, this blacktop crack filler. All charged up and ready to go. I'm gonna take it to pick up a couple things for one of my projects. Let's see how the electric power works. It's ready to go. We got a 100% charge. I'm gonna try the electric mode. We're gonna head out to the local home improvement store because I got to pick up a few things from there for the do-it-yourself house projects. I got to replace one of my sprinkler heads because when I was trimming up the tree, one of the branches fell down and it cracked it, so it needs to be replaced. And the next thing that I need to get is the driveway goo. I have an asphalt driveway and there's developing some cracks, so I need to seal them up to make sure it doesn't get worse. So I'm gonna get the driveway goo and then I will be seal coating the whole thing. But today I'm just gonna pick up the driveway goo to fill the cracks so I can get that project done. Average MPG 19.8. All right, YouTube, got the stuff I needed. We got this crack filler stuff and one of these pop-up sprinkler heads. The trunk area right here, it's not too big. The cargo space on the trunk is very small. Two of these small 1-gallon containers. There's two of them in there, so you could probably fit 1, 2, 3, probably 4 by 5, 4 by 6. You can fit 24 gallons on here, which isn't that great, but it is fun. So I'm gonna start working on this now because it's starting to cool down and it's designed to be used when the weather is still warm and it doesn't get to less than 55 degrees overnight. A few things that I recommend to start this project are: 1, dirty, gross clothes, because in case you get that stuff on you, you don't want to mess up your nice clothes. Number 2, one of these little kind of spatula or putty knives that you don't really care too much about. This one's cheap, it's plastic, so I don't really care too much about that. A razor knife to cut the top and tip off of there so that way you can get a nice pour spout. A couple of paper towels and a place where you can place everything so you don't make a huge mess while you're doing it. And you will need some sort of compressed air or maybe a blower or something like that so that you can blow all the leaves and crud out of there. Now, taking the rocks out isn't necessarily important because you kind of want that for the glue to kind of stick to, especially when you got big gaping holes like this. It says it's designed for cracks up to a 1/2 inch, I believe. Let me see here. 2x, dries twice as fast, cracks up to a 1/2 inch right there, as wide as a 1/2 inch. Now, this will just kind of sink down in, it sort of self-levels, so you may have to fill it 1 or 2 times. I'm gonna try and fill it at least the amount of times as possible, and I don't have any tricks for that really. You could use some backer rod if you wanted to, but I don't really want to because I want it to get the most bond inside there. You can also maybe throw some fresh cold patch asphalt in there and then kind of tamp it down, and that might fill the cracks well. But ideally, we're going to be kind of coating the whole driveway with a seal coating so that it has a final layer on the top to keep it nice and fresh. Now, most of these cracks start out like this right here, very small, not too much going on, and eventually got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm going to be sealing up pretty much all of these that you can see right here, so that way they don't slowly seep through and break down what's underneath. Here we go. I got my air compressor here. I have it set about 40 psi and just one of these standard nozzles. And what we're gonna do is just gonna use this and spray it into the hole or the cracks and try and get as much debris out as we can. So basically just like this, just kind of blow out what we can blow out. pick out whatever we can get on the top that's easy to, and blow the rest out. Now this process will take a little while. So I'm gonna work on that and then kind of show you guys what it looks like before we start putting in the crack filler stuff. All right, I got a good portion of it done. So this is roughly what it looks like now. Not a lot of debris inside there. And that's what we want to get. Most of it we can get out. We're gonna cut the top of this thing, start filling the holes. I'm just gonna unscrew the cap here and pull that off. Now, this comes with like a little sealer cap as well, so make sure you pull that off, don't cut through that. And I'm just gonna cut a small kind of angle on this. Just like that. See that? Not too big of a hole, not too small of a hole. And then we're gonna peel this sealed for your protection label off, and we're just gonna put that right on top. Now let's start to fill the holes. We're just gonna, needs to be shaken up first. Let's try this again. Make sure you put some gloves on too, because it gets all over the place. Then we're just gonna, yep, it just comes out like that. It's kind of a goopy substance. And we're just gonna slowly fill in our cracks here. Now obviously some of these cracks are pretty deep. We wanna try and get all the cracks we can. So see this one right here, this one too. Anywhere that water could basically seep into our driveway through a crack, we want to seal that. See how it sinks there? Just kind of fill it back in once it sinks, and just continue to sort of fill it. So this is where it takes quite a bit of this stuff, is some of these deeper holes. And it just kind of flows to where it needs to, for the most part. So I'm just gonna continue to fill in these cracks here. And I'll show you guys when we get to the next step, which is gonna be to scrape it, make it nice and flat. All right, YouTube, so we got far enough along with putting on the crack filler, and now we are going to use our spatula. And basically, we're just gonna kind of scrape it over the top, kind of create a nice flat surface here, and kind of scrape it down, make it nice and flat so it doesn't have a bump on it or a lip. And then whatever like excess we have, we can just put it into another part of the crack. And basically, we're just scraping across the width of the crack so that it gets a nice kind of flat, even spot right there, just like this. All right. Make sure we get all sides of the crack so that way it will set up nicely and make an even coat on there. It may not look perfect while it's setting up, but it should look pretty good when it's all done. There it is. So that's roughly what it should look like. I'm gonna finish the rest of this, and we're gonna keep on working on this, and I'll show you guys roughly what the finished product is after it's all dry. I did do the sealing of the driveway with the crack filler, so I put in all of that. I filled in all the cracks, the big and deep ones here. Those got filled in, and those got filled in, and over there, and over here, and everything looks really good as far as that goes. I am back out working on the driveway again, and what I'm doing is this section here. So I have my bags of cold patch, asphalt patch right there, and I will be putting some of them into some of these dips right here.